Hi all, I'm Derek from Revival Central, South Africa. Today I'm going to show you some of the websites which I look at on a regular basis to keep up to date with the shaking and what's actually happening throughout the earth. Here the first one you see is zerohedge.com. Let me just go to here. It's revivalcentral.com /currentnews.html. This is on my website, but it gives one a overview of what is happening throughout the world, and often just skim through this and just look for especially economic news at this time. I'm looking at specific for China and things such as a global stocks rally, and you see here China putting money into the stock market at the moment. But in an economic collapse, it is not only the stocks don't only go down, but they go up as well. There's volatility, and this time we see that the government are actually trying to stimulate and they crash plunge protection teams, and in China the government are trying to bring stability to the market by setting the reserves in of US treasuries and stabilizing the system. So we see that here. So I'll just watch the headlines and I'll just have a look, just to have a quick look to see what's happening throughout the world. Other sites that I look at is with infowars.com. If we just go down here, we'll see many headlines, and just to see what's happening. Evangelist Aneta Fuentes, she has many things here that are quite powerful, prophetic things as well, and it's a good idea to visit her site almost on a daily basis and to just see what's coming forth there. X22 report, it's every day. It's a economic report on what is happening throughout the world. For example, here it says China's now dumping a dollar from oil trade for yuan for their currency, and it gives you this is alternative media, but it gives you an accurate assessment of what's happening in the economy. The Prophecy Club.com, and here there's much with prophecies of things that are coming, and if one looks under resources and the latest prophecies, you will actually find in the latest prophecies you'll find many interesting prophecies here. This is of the banking system collapsing, and many people have seen this as well, a dream of the banking system coming to a close, collapsing. It's more in the United States, but it will affect throughout the world. And you see many. There's Mina Lee Greben, as a prophetess, and she spoke of a black horse riding on the month September, October, November, December this year. And many have seen this, that we're expecting the collapse to take place during this time period. And she's even warned believers that I think she has had a visitation, and she was warned that she needs to stock up with food and supplies, preparing for when this happens. The banks there may be a bank holiday, and there may be unrest as well, and there will be much trouble that takes place when this happens, and that the people of God need to be prepared for what's coming. And that's the Prophecy Club. I'm just looking at another website here. It's America's Last Days. This is also an important website to look at. America's Last Days. And here you see many of the prophecies and the visions of the fall of the United States. That's Henry Groover. And they all basically speak of two things: the economic collapse first, and then the Russian invasion of the United States, where it's destroyed by fire. And that's with the mystery Babylon being destroyed in the book of Revelation. I think it was in Jeremiah 50:51. But immediately we're looking now at the economic collapse, and we see here it's from George Washington, William Branham. Actually, even Kenneth Hagin Sr. had a vision of what is to come with the camps at the end, the FEMA camps, almost like concentration camps. There have been so many in the body of Christ that have been given this of what's to come as well, that it's actually certain to be unfolding. And it begins with the economic collapse. Perry Stone has had this. David Wilkerson spoke of first the economic collapse and then the Russian invasion. And this is for the past 40 years. And here we see many of the visions from they're all listed here. And there's much on the site with it, which goes through all the different, these are all YouTube videos. And Dmitry Duduman and some of the prophets as well. A.A. Allen is Dmitry Duduman. And so that's another site that's worthwhile looking at. Also, Investing with Insight. This is a Facebook page, Investing with Insight. But you have many important tips and prophetic words here. Actually, it's a few weeks ago that there was a dream which was given in 2009 of the bottom for gold. And in this dream it revealed a headline, a newspaper headline which would appear, and when that appeared, that would indicate it's a time for the church to invest and buy in gold and be prepared for what is to come. And if one bought at this time, it would actually be at a time which the gold actually had bottomed. Many in the mainstream media were saying that gold was going to go lower, and it still could go lower, but to me that this seems a correct dream, that this to this day that point was the lowest, that was the bottom of gold. It does appear to be the bottom, and that dream came on this website. And there's a lot of sound information here to do with the financial shaking, this economic shaking that's coming, and how to prepare for what is to come. I also look at the economic collapse blog. That's by it's the Snyder. The elite have prepared you for the coming collapse. Have prepared for the coming collapse. Have you? The stock market crashed 2015. The Dow has already plummeted 2,200 points from the peak. And this is a very, very popular website. Let me just go to True News. Here we see much concerning Russia. Remember that there are two stages, and first is the economic collapse, eventually Russia will actually attack the United States, and the cities will actually be destroyed with a nuclear holocaust. And we see the drums beating and the beginning of this war now, even though it actually takes place at a later stage. And there's much here on True News. It's worthwhile to watch this. I'm just another site that I watch is the Jim Baker Show, and he brings on many guests, and one can just skim through this and just watch this on a daily basis, see who's coming on. There's John Shorey, and sometimes Jonathan Kahn is on as a guest. So this is a worthwhile site to watch as well, the Jim Baker Show.com, or watch us live. I also have a look at beforeitsnews.com. Here we often find things such as with the economic collapse. If you look at what is going to happen September 23rd, one has to just filter this and have a look, because there's also a lot of things that are simply not true. We don't want to follow conspiracies and conspiracy theories. We're looking for the truth and what God is saying. But sometimes with people like Jim Willie about the economy, there's actually sometimes very good articles here, and Gerald Salenti, some of the things you pick up here. So it's a good place to watch as well before it's news. I also got a folder here of many different sites that I look at. Zero Hedge, the cutting edge. There's also the RT, but also look at the BRICS site and the IMF site here, just to watch what is happening, developments with the new banks in China and different things that are happening. So these are some of the sites that I watch on a regular basis to keep up to date and just see how the shaking, what is happening, what God is doing, and how this is progressing. God bless. This is Derek from Revival Central, South Africa.